Let's begin in a comfortable position. You can choose either a seated or reclined shape, whatever feels better for you. And we'll take a moment to find a sense of grounding, a sense of connectedness with the support beneath the body. Allowing yourself to settle in a bit more deeply at each point of contact. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes, letting your attention focus inwards, or let your gaze soften so your eyelids are heavy. And we'll take our attention to our breathing, noticing how your body feels as you inhale and exhale. Noticing where you feel movement as you breathe in and out. If you notice that your breathing is a bit shallow or short, try drawing the next inhale a little bit more deeply into the body. Feeling the air travel down the back of your throat, filling up your lungs. Rib cage expands, belly rises. And then exhaling softly and slowly in the reverse direction, letting the belly soften, letting the rib cage soften as the lungs empty and the air travels back up and out. After a few deeper, slower breaths, taking stock of how you feel, you want to find a rhythm that feels comfortable, nothing forceful. If you notice after a few breaths that you're feeling that it's difficult to control the breath at the level you've chosen, maybe taking a little bit less breath in with the next inhale. Allowing the breath to be slow and deep, but also steady and comfortable. And once you found that rhythm that works for you, let's start to invite some small movement back into the body, gently wiggling fingers and wiggling toes. Maybe circling wrists and ankles if that's available to you. Turning your head from side to side. We'll bring the body back to stillness. If you are laying on your back, taking a moment to draw both knees into your chest and roll over onto whichever side of the body you prefer. Pausing in that side laying position for a moment, allowing yourself to adjust. And then when you feel ready, we'll make our way up to meet in a seated position, whatever seated position you find most comfortable. If you have been seated for the first part of the class and you'd like to change the way you're seated, you can do that as well. We'll ground through both sides of the body and sit up tall. We'll start to roll through the shoulders, lifting shoulders up towards the ears and squeezing the shoulder blades together, drawing them down the back. As we inhale, we'll lift the shoulders up. As we exhale, we'll squeeze and lower. Taking your time and working on matching movement with breath. Using each inhale to lift up and each exhale to squeeze and lower. And let's take those shoulders the other direction, still lifting up on the inhale, but then as we exhale, let's roll the shoulders forward. Spreading shoulder blades nice and wide. Maybe even rounding a little bit through the upper back. And we'll bring the shoulders back to stillness. As we inhale, let's take both hands up towards the ceiling, maybe joining the palms. Looking up, and then we'll draw the hands down together through heart center, releasing at the bottom. And then inhaling, reaching up once again. Working to make your upswing as long as your inhale. And drawing your hands down for the same length of time it takes you to exhale. And with the next exhale, let's take those hands up. As we exhale though, let's drop the left hand down on the floor and reach the right arm up and over. We'll inhale, drawing both hands back up to center, maybe allowing the palms to touch. And then dropping the right hand down, lifting the left arm up and over. Inhale, taking both arms up. And exhale to one side or the other. Once again, matching your movement with your breath. And you can allow your gaze to follow whichever hand is moving. Or you can look straight ahead, whatever feels better on your neck. Next time the hands meet up in center, we'll draw the palms together and down towards the heart as we exhale. Pausing for a moment with the hands in Anjali Mudra. Outer edges of the palms are sealed and tips of the fingers touch. Pausing to notice any sensation through the body. And then we'll make our way into a tabletop position. Moving any props out of the way, we'll come onto our hands and our knees. Allowing the wrists to stack under the shoulders and knees under the hips. We'll spread the fingers out nice and wide, pressing tips of the fingers down into the ground. As we inhale, let's drop the belly, draw the shoulders back, and look forward for cow pose. And as we exhale, let's round the spine, spread the shoulders, and look back to the knees. We'll alternate back and forth between those two. Inhaling to lengthen the front of body and exhaling to lengthen the back of the body. So return the body back to stillness at center, coming into tabletop. We'll take the knees a little bit wider apart on the mat. We'll keep the hips lifted and keep the arms fairly straight. We'll start to walk the hands out in front of the body, coming into extended puppy pose. Reaching fingertips away from tailbone and dropping the chest and forehead down towards the ground. As we inhale, let's focus on lengthening the spine, reaching fingertips forward. As we exhale, softening through chest, through shoulders, allowing the upper body to come closer towards the ground. Taking a couple of slow, steady breaths here. And then we'll walk the hands back up towards the body. Coming into a tabletop, bringing the knees back underneath of the hips. We'll press down through the tops of the fingertips. And from here, let's extend the right foot out behind us, pressing that right heel back, toes point straight down, and try to keep the hips level. The tendency here is to lift the right hip up a little bit higher. Try to keep it in line with the left hip. You can stay there, or if you'd like, you can lift your left arm out in front of you. As you inhale, reaching fingertips away from heel, and as you exhale, drawing the low belly in, finding a neutral spine. Breathe in to lengthen, breathe out to find that central position. Allow the gaze to stay soft, let the jaw stay relaxed. And then we'll release back down onto the ground. Let's switch sides. This time starting by extending the left heel back behind us. Again, hips are level. Press back through the left heel. You can stay here, or you can start to transfer a little bit more weight into your left foot and extend your right arm out in front of you. As you inhale, reaching fingertips away from heel. As you exhale, draw the low belly in, find a neutral spine. Alternating between reaching and settling into the shape. And then we'll release back down onto the ground. From here, let's make our way into our downward facing dog. So pressing down through the tops of the fingertips. We'll tuck the toes under and lift the hips up and back. Taking a moment first to pedal through feet, pedal through knees. And then we'll bring the body back to stillness. Pressing the hips up and back, finding length through the upper body. You can have a little bit of a bend in your knees if you need to. And then we'll bend the knees even deeper. We'll look forward and we'll start to walk up towards the top of the mat. Making our way into a forward fold at the top, allowing the head to hang heavy, maybe letting the belly rest on the thighs, and then joining arms, either holding onto opposite elbows in front of the body or maybe wrapping the arms around the backs of the legs. Let's take a moment to nod the head yes and shake the head no, releasing tension from the neck. And then we'll release the hands back down onto the ground. As we inhale, we'll lengthen the backs of the legs, straighten out the spine, bring the upper body parallel with the ground, coming into half back. As we exhale, we'll bend the knees, folding forward. Inhale, bending the knees even deeper. We'll sweep the hands out to the sides and up overhead, joining the palms. We'll exhale, hands down to heart center. As we inhale, let's reach up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale for half back, straightening the legs, straightening the spine. As we exhale, let's bend the knees, plant the hands on the floor and step back, downward facing dog. From here, we'll inhale, shifting forward, coming into plank. Let's drop the knees down onto the ground and untuck the toes. Pressing down into the tips of the fingers, keep that activation through the hands. We'll turn the eyes of the elbows to face forward, so the inner crease of the elbow faces towards the front of the mat. And then we'll bend the elbows back as we lower slowly halfway down. Let's press all the way back up. We'll tuck the toes under, lift the knees into plank, and shift back to downward facing dog. From here, we'll bend the knees looking forward as we inhale. As we exhale, we'll walk up to the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up, allowing those palms to meet up overhead and exhaling, hands down to heart center. As we inhale, let's reach up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, planting the hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll shift forward into plank. Again, let's drop the knees and untuck the toes. Facing the inner creases of the elbows forward, gripping down through the fingertips. On an exhale, we'll lower halfway down so the chest is parallel with the ground. Elbows are around 90 degrees. We'll inhale, pressing all the way back up. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees, and exhale back to downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees looking forward. Exhale, walk to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead, and we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Good, again, let's inhale, reaching. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll shift forward to plank. Drop the knees, untuck the toes. Inner creases of the elbows forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, press up. Keep the low belly tight. We'll tuck the toes under, lift the knees, and shift back to downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend our knees looking forward. As we exhale, we'll walk to the top of the mat. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's pause here in mountain pose. Rooting down through the ball of the foot and the heel. Lifting the shoulders up, looping them back and down, and extending the arms out at the sides with energy. As we inhale here, we'll lift up, lengthening up through the crown of the head. And as we exhale, we'll press down through the feet. Taking a moment to check in. Noticing any sensation throughout the body. Noticing the beating of the heart. And then again, on an inhale, let's reach both hands up. As we exhale, let's bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, shift forward to plank. As we exhale, option to drop the knees or keep them lifted. We'll lower down to chaturanga, and then inhale back up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll bend the knees looking forward. As we exhale, let's step the right foot up in front of us. Stacking right knee over right ankle, right toes point forward. As we inhale, we'll get lighter on the fingertips. Reach those fingertips up overhead. We'll exhale, drop the hands and step the left foot forward. As we inhale, moving to half back. Exhaling to fold. We'll inhale, rising all the way up. Palms meet up overhead, and we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Exhaling, folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank, option to drop the knees. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bending the knees and looking forward. Exhaling, we'll step the left foot up in front of us. As we inhale, we'll rise all the way up. Exhaling, dropping the hands, stepping forward. Inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, reaching those hands up overhead. And exhaling, hands down to heart center. As we inhale, let's reach up. Exhaling, we'll bend the knees and fold. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold, we'll plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank, option to drop the knees. Exhale, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, back up. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bending the knees and looking forward. Exhaling, we'll step, walk or hop to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. And we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Releasing into mountain pose. Allowing it to be an active mountain pose, rooting down through the feet, lifting up through the crown, finding some space in the body, and a sense of grounding through the feet. Taking a moment to check in, allowing yourself to be present in this shape. And then let's inhale, reaching both hands up. As we exhale, bend the knees and fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale, fold, step back, downward facing dog. From here, let's inhale the right foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll step that right foot through. Let's turn the back toes out on a 90-degree angle so the left toes are facing the side of the mat. As we inhale, we'll sweep the left arm up and back and reach the right hand forward, coming into warrior two. Stacking right knee over right ankle, drawing that right knee open to the side. We'll stack the shoulders over hips, draw shoulders together, and then spread the fingers. From here, you can stay in stillness, or you can drop your left hand down and reach your right hand high as you inhale. And then we'll exhale, windmill the hands down to the floor, turn those left toes forward, and step up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let's inhale, half back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. We'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands. We'll step back, downward facing dog. From here, let's inhale the left foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll step that left foot through. Turn the right toes open to the side, planting the heel down. And then on an inhale, we'll sweep the right arm up, back, and left arm forward. Coming into a lunge on the left knee, drawing that left knee open to the side. Stacking shoulders over hips, reaching fingertips out to the front and back. Staying in stillness, or maybe dropping the right hand down, lifting the left hand high as we inhale. And then we'll exhale, hands back down to the mat. We'll turn the right toes forward and step that right foot up. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling to fold. We'll inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, bending and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhaling, folding, planting the hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale forward to plank. Option to drop the knees. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, lifting the right foot up behind us. As we exhale, we'll step that right foot through. This time we'll step the left foot a little bit further forward, plant the heel down, and turn the left toes open towards the top left corner of the mat. Right knee is stacking over right ankle, and we'll come all the way up into our warrior one. Hips and shoulders face towards the front of the mat. Fingertips spread nice and wide. We'll reach up as we inhale. Root down as we exhale. Again, inhale, reach up. This time as we exhale, we'll take our arms back behind us, interlace the fingers, draw the palms together, draw the shoulder blades together, open through the chest. You can stay here, or on your next exhale, fold over your right leg, coming into humble warrior, lifting those knuckles up and back behind you. You can also choose to hold on to opposite elbows if that's more comfortable for your shoulders. Breathe in, reach those arms up. Breathe out, fold forward. On the next inhale, we'll come all the way up. Let's straighten out through the front leg. So there might still be a little bit of a bend in the right knee just for stability, not locking that leg. We'll draw the elbows or knuckles down towards the floor, inhaling up. As we exhale, we'll hinge at the hips, leaning forward, coming into pyramid pose. So you can either lift your hands up and back behind you, or you can drop your hands down to the floor or somewhere on your leg. Finding a stretch through the back of the right leg. Allowing the spine to be long and straight. Breathing fully in and fully out. And if they're not there already, let's drop the hands down to the ground. We'll bend through the right knee and step the left foot up to meet the right, coming into a forward fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead, and we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. We'll inhale forward to plank, option to drop the knees. Exhale, chaturanga, halfway down. Inhale, rise up, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. As we inhale, let's lift the left foot up behind us. We'll exhale, stepping that left foot through. We'll step the right foot up a little bit, planting the heel, turning right toes towards the top right corner of the mat. Left knee over left ankle. We'll rise all the way up, warrior one, reaching those arms up overhead. As we inhale, we'll lengthen. As we exhale, we'll lunge and root down through the feet. Hips and shoulders face forward. Gaze is soft. Option to stay here, or to sweep the arms back behind the body, interlacing fingers or taking hold of opposite elbows. We'll inhale, lengthen the upper body. Exhale, fold forward. Pressing back through the right heel, lengthening the right calf. Maybe lifting the knuckles up towards the ceiling, coming into humble warrior. Good. On the next inhale, rising all the way back up, we'll start to straighten out that left leg, keeping a little bit of a bend there. We'll inhale, lifting straight up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Again, option here to lift the knuckles up towards the ceiling, or to drop the hands down towards the floor, or rest them somewhere on your left leg. Focusing on the sensation all along the back of the left leg. Breathing in to lengthen, breathing out to soften. Dropping the hands down, if they're not there already, we'll bend slightly through the left knee and step the right foot forward, coming into forward fold. Let's inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead, and we'll exhale, hands down, heart center. Let's inhale, lifting up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale forward to plank, option to drop the knees. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, back up to plank. And exhale for downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees, looking forward, taking a deep breath in. Exhaling, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. And inhale, rise all the way up. Reach those hands up overhead. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. And we'll pause in our mountain pose. Releasing arms at the sides. Drawing shoulders together and back. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling to root down. Our next inhale, let's sweep both arms up overhead. As we exhale, let's bend the knees and fold. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. As we inhale, we'll shift forward to plank. Option to drop the knees, exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, back up to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, let's lift the right foot and we'll tuck the top of the right foot around the back of the left calf. And we'll start to shift our weight onto the outer edge of the left foot, planting that right foot down, spinning the left toes out behind you, and then reaching the right arm back, coming into Wild Thing. Reaching right fingertips away from left foot, gazing back towards the right hand. We'll breathe in, press the hips up, and breathe out. We'll make our way back into downward facing dog, taking your time, moving carefully. Let's inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift those hands up overhead. Maybe allow the palms to touch. And we'll exhale, drawing them down to heart center. Let's inhale, reach. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhaling for half back. Exhaling, folding, planting the hands, stepping back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward plank. Option to drop the knees. Exhale, down chaturanga. Inhale, up to plank. Exhale, back, downward dog. Let's tuck the top of the left foot around the back of the right calf. We'll start to shift our weight onto the outer edge of the right foot, planting that right heel down, allowing the left foot to come down on the ground right beside the left leg. Right beside the right leg, and then we'll reach the left hand back behind us, pointing the right toes away from left hand. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, slowly, carefully shift back to downward facing dog. Let's inhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms meet up overhead, and we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, bending the knees and folding. We'll inhale for half back. Exhale to full plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. From here, let's bend the knees, drawing them down towards the ground. We'll untuck the toes, move the knees wide apart, and zip the hips back onto the heels. You can allow your arms to stay extended straight out in front of you, or you can bend at the elbows, stacking forearms or stacking hands. And resting your head down comfortably either on your arms or on your mat. Let's breathe into the back of the body, feeling the ribcage expanding and softening. And noticing any sensation that accompanies the breath. And let's start to walk the hands back up towards the body. We'll bring the knees together and find some more space on your mat if you need to, moving a little bit further forward. Let's pull the heels just outside of the hips, coming into a little bit of a deeper stretch for the quads. If that's uncomfortable, you can place your heels back under your sitting bone. Paying special attention to the muscles on the quads and the knees as well. If you are comfortable where you are and you're not feeling any stretch there yet, you can take your hands back behind you, fingertips pointing back. We'll lift the hips up, tuck the tailbone forward, and then settle the hips back down once again, finding a slightly deeper stretch across the tops of the legs. And if you're there and you're still not quite feeling it, and you want to come down onto your elbows, you're welcome to that as well. Being mindful of the low back and of the tendency for the knees to lift and move apart. We want the knees drawing together and we want the knees connected with the ground. We also want to maintain control of the neck. So if dropping the elbows down means that you need to be letting your head go, looking up at the ceiling, maybe choosing a different option. Breathe into the sensation along the tops of the thighs. And slowly, gradually settle into the pose with the breath. And let's start to make our way back up. If you're on your elbows, coming up onto your hands. And then we'll walk the hands back up towards the body, coming into a more upright position. And we'll make our way into a tabletop. Walking the knees back so that they're underneath of the hips. Taking a moment to roll through the ankles. From here, let's find equal weight between both hands and both knees. And then very carefully shift your weight into your left knee without shifting your hips. We'll press the right foot out back behind us, pressing that heel towards the wall, lengthening that leg, and then maybe taking the left arm out in front of us. So reaching left fingertips away from right heel. You can stay here as you are, or if you'd like, you can bend your right knee, sweep your left arm back, and reach for that right ankle. Coming into a tiger pose, shifting your weight so that your shoulder is over your wrist and hip is over your knee. And then we'll press that right heel up, breathing into the chest, breathing into the belly. Good, let's release. We'll come all the way back down. Pause for a moment in child's pose, allowing yourself to reconnect with your breath, to soften any tension. And then we'll make our way back up into tabletop. From here, there's a subtle shift of weight into the right knee. Allow that left foot to press out behind you, flexing at the ankle so the heel presses straight back. And then if it's comfortable, extend your right arm out in front of you. Reaching fingertips away from left heel. And maybe choosing to stay here. Or maybe bending at the left knee, sweeping the right arm out to the side and reaching back for that left ankle. Again, we want to keep the hip over the right knee. Keep the left shoulder over left wrist. And then press up with the left heel as much as it's comfortable to do so. Keep the gaze straight down. Lengthening all along the front of the body in tiger pose. And we'll release all the way back down onto the mat. We'll come into, again, a brief child's pose. Shifting hips back, allowing the upper body to recline down. And slowly walking the hands back up towards the body. We'll shift the hips off to one side and extend the feet out in front of us. And we'll make our way all the way down onto our mats on our backs, drawing knees in towards the chest. You can rock gently from side to side, or you can stay in stillness. And then let's release the left leg flat out onto the floor. Stack the right knee over the right hip and extend the right arm out to the right side. Take an inhale at center, and as we exhale, we'll guide that right knee across the body, coming into a twist. Maybe shifting the shoulders slightly over to the left so that they're in line with the hips and the spine is in one long line of energy. You can choose if you'd like to gaze over towards your right fingertips, We'll breathe in, filling the body up with air. Breathe out, finding some softness in the twist. And let's release, coming all the way back up to center, bringing that right knee up, shifting the shoulders back to the middle of the mat. Extend the right leg out onto the ground and draw the left knee in, stacking the left knee over left hip. Right hand comes onto the left knee and the left arm extends out to the left side. Breathe in at center, and as we breathe out, guide the left knee across the body. Coming into a twist, maybe shifting shoulders slightly to the right. And maybe looking over towards the left side. Breathing in to fill up and breathing out to soften. And let's release. We'll come all the way back up to center, bringing the left knee up, bringing the gaze up, shifting shoulders back to the middle of the mat. We'll find our final resting pose. Allowing the heels to move to the outer edges of the mat, letting the toes rock open to the side. Draw the shoulders down the back and press them into the mat, and then extend the arms out alongside the body. You can allow your palms to face up or down, whatever feels better for you. Tuck the chin down towards the heart to lengthen the back of the neck. And allow the eyes to softly close, allowing them to become heavy in their socket. And we'll release the jaw open, letting the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. And allowing upper and lower teeth to separate from one another. If there's another position that you find more comfortable than Shavasana, you're welcome to choose whatever you'd like as your final resting pose. Adjusting if you need to. And then we'll start to settle in a bit more deeply. Noticing each and every place where the body taps down and allowing yourself to get a bit heavier. Feeling the heels connecting with the mat and letting the feet get a little bit more connected, a little bit more grounded. Softening any tension through the toes, through the arches, through the ankle. And perhaps the calves are touching down. Allowing yourself to soften the muscles across your shin. Muscles of the calves. Releasing the knee joints. And then noticing any connections through the upper part of the legs. Maybe the hamstrings. Maybe the glutes, maybe the hips are the next place you notice a connection. Allowing yourself to get a bit heavier through the hips. And again, find some sense of softness, maybe a sense of release in the muscles surrounding that area. Maybe noticing a gentle rise and fall of the belly as you inhale and exhale. You connect with the ground at the low back, or maybe there's a little space there. If you do connect, allowing yourself to settle in a bit more deeply there. If not, looking for the next point of connection, maybe through the rib cage. Connecting all through the broadness of the back. Each time we inhale, maybe feeling a sense of lift, a sense of buoyancy. Each time we exhale, finding a deeper connection with the mat. Getting heavier through the rib cage, through the shoulder girdle. Maybe along the backs of the arms and the hands. And finally, feeling the support at the back of the head. Finding a sense of connection, a sense of ease in the body. And if you have been focusing on your breath and controlling it, even letting that go, still maintaining awareness of the breath, but no longer trying to control the length of the inhale or exhale, allowing the breath to move in its own comfortable, natural rhythm, flowing freely, allowing each breath to nourish the body. Bringing you a sense of openness and a sense of grounding, alternating between inhale and exhale. And let's begin to invite some movement back into the body, gently wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, maybe circling wrists and ankles and turning the head from side to side. And coming back to stillness, if you are laying on your back, gathering your knees into your chest and rolling over onto one side of the body or the other. Giving yourself a moment to pause, to adjust. And then when you feel ready, we'll meet up in a seated position. Allowing yourself to anchor through both sides of the body. Sit up tall. Softening the shoulders down and gathering the hands together in front of the heart. From the light that shines within me to the light that shines within you. Namaste.